Aloha, friends and neighbors, and welcome to show 888. 888. I have a grand announcement for you. There's new websites, and I want to tell you the story of this Honu episode I had in my life. My Amakua is the turtle, Honu. I made his acquaintance many years ago back on Kauai, 25 years ago, and I was doing health department work, and I found myself being called on carcasses from turtles that had big tumors around their neck. And I spoke to a very enlightened young man from DLNR who was working on the problem, and they all thought it was some kind of virus, but they didn't have the background I do, because I have an industrial toxin background, a Master of Science degree. In occupational health, we're concerned about asbestos. I said, gee, that could be asbestos on the turtles' necks. He said, oh no, can't understand that. I said, yeah, because asbestos, if it's coated with oil, a tiny little particle will float if it's coated with grease. And that poor turtle is lifting up his head and up and down all his life, huh? Looking at the sky. Looking at the sky. So these folds in his neck tissues, inside and outside, catch the little particles, and they rub and rub and rub. Excuse me. I got a nasty bug. Upshot is, their objection, the biologist, was they found some of the first turtles with these tumors down on the south east coasts of the U.S. and down Cuba and in those areas. And I said, wow, that's perfect, because, and he said, oh, it was way back in the 1890s or something. And I said, that's perfect, because the whole East Coast was steam engines. Locomotives and steam-powered ships use enormous amounts of asbestos and grease. So the whole East Coast, got set up with asbestos, grease-covered asbestos particles that actually could really hurt these turtles. And they found some turtles. That were on the back side of Kauai, and these turtles didn't have any of the tumors, which proved my point. They'd never been exposed to asbestos. Anyway, I worked on Honu a bit, so Honu became my friend, and I swim. I see him a lot. After I almost got dead in the ocean here a year or two ago, I got more scared of the ocean. I started using my friend Honu as an indicator of whether it was safe to go in the water. And I would walk down to the beach in the morning, and I'd stand there and wait. If I saw Honu at Magic Sands, which is often, I would feel like I was safe to go in. And lots of times I'd go down there and the waves were a little big, and I'd say, Honu, Honu, and no Honu appears. I would actually come home. I wouldn't swim. So this all happened yesterday on the 19th, and I haven't been swimming for a while. I got this bug, and I decided I was going to help my health, and so I went swimming. And I went down to the beach, and there was no Honus, and I waited for a while, about 10 minutes, and saw nothing at all, which is unusual. Finally I waded in the water, and I was up about knee deep fixing my mask and things, and looked around, no Honus, and finally I said, Honu! And about 2 minutes later, along came a big green sea turtle, a big Honu, out of the rocks. Nobody saw him there. And he swam right over to me, and about 3 feet from me, lifted up his head and looked at me and nodded. And I said, "Ho, I'm going swimming. Thank you, Honu." Well, I turned to look, and there was a young man, a Hawaiian man behind me, kind of And I just said to him, Amakua. He said, oh, okay. And we understood. Now I get back from the beach. I get a phone call from Jim Knowles, the guy who does the website that does the app, the Sky Mirror Astrology app. And he says to me, well, I got a new website up for you. Now he had asked me about this before, and I had kind of said, well, I didn't like all the blue and whites he had on his app website so much. I liked earthy colors. He says, anything else? I say, oh, I've always wanted a honu, you know, on a website, raising his head up and looking at the sky. Because he's the only animal like me that's always looking at the sky mirror. So, and my Amakua. So anyway, I get back after this amazing episode at the beach. He calls me up. He says, check your new website. I go and check it out. Son of a gun. There's a beautiful honu looking up at the planets on my new website. So it happened in reality. I was down on the beach. A real turtle came up within 4 or 5 feet of me, looked, nodded, raised his head up. I came home, and there he is on my website. So I'm going to show you the website and explain it a little bit to you. It's better than the old ones because it's a streaming video and it'll download really fast. And, well, come on. I'm going to show it to you. But I tell you, it was a magical experience having these things happen coincidentally. I should say synchronicity is what Carl Jung called it. There he was in the water, and then there he was on the screen of my computer with my name. Hail Honu! First, let me give you the websites. Now, this is the website for the app, the $5 app for your iPhones called SkyMirrorAstrology.com. And if you go for that website, you'll get the blue with the white clouds. It's a very nice website. And the beauty of Jim Knowles' website is that he is putting the sky mirrors on his website. So you go to this website and you can get nothing but the sky mirror. You don't have to listen to all of my aggro comments and the rest of the show. You just get a nice crisp sky mirror. When I went to it recently, I got 6. The last 6 sky mirrors he had posted there. So this is a very useful website where you can get the sky mirrors by themselves. Now, if you want my website, you got SkyMirrorAstrology.com, then /TV. Just put the /TV on there, and you will go by his blue and white website advertising his app with the sky mirrors on it, by the way, and you'll get to my. So take it down. SkyMirrorAstrology.com /TV. Okay? Astrology.com /TV. Because I'm probably going to be giving up the YouTube stuff. It's really smooth and nice. This guy knows what he's doing. So check it out. And here it is. And check out Honu. There he is, swimming in the heavens. He's looking up. What's he looking at? Well, there's Saturn and Jupiter and other bodies. So I think this is very cool. See the planets over there? It's just what the turtle did to me yesterday. So there I am. And there's a little thing on me. It says, I've been broadcasting for 17 years. Enjoy each show of pithy commentary, weekly sky mirror analysis, and more. I like that pithy commentary. Haha. Over here's all the scheduled public access schedules for each island, Oahu and the Big Island and Maui and Kauai, all channel 54. So that's kind of neat. Over here on this panel, he's advertising his app, and more power to him. I think this is one of the greatest things ever. It's very cool. Now, you go down here and scroll down a little bit, and there's a show. There's the whole TV show that plays on November 29th. And below that is the TV show for the week starting November 22nd. Yeah. And below that is November 15th. Where am I? Here we are. How many of these you got on here? And November 8th and November 1st. What's that, 6? October 25th. Wow. October 18th. Pretty neat, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last 7 shows. It's far out. And a beautiful Honu. Watching the planets. Okay, there you are again. Sky Mirror Astrology. One word, all small letters. .com/TV. Should get you to the turtle. And 6 shows that come down easily. So try it out. Let me know what you think, will you? Oh gee, we're almost halfway through the show. I better get to the Sky Mirror. I had a lot to share with you. A lot of stuff is going on. Can you read that? This arcane script, you know. 200 years from now, somebody may be looking at this and saying that it was the work of, oh, never mind, aliens! Okay, this is the moon conjunct Mars, and they're both opposing Uranus on Christmas Day. What's this? We're all thinking about Mars. The moon is what you're thinking about. And who's Mars? Mars is the military, and Mars is angriness, and Mars is fighting and fire. It's opposing Uranus. What it looks like in the sky is a bunch of military is beating up homeless people, environmentalists, hippies, and all those folks that these cowardly bullies we call politicians love beating up on the people that can't defend themselves, huh? Well, the revolutionary spirit's alive and well. Uranus is stationing December 17th. And 20 days before, 20 days after, the Uranus consciousness is there. You know, hey, can't we all get along? Remember the 99% that pointed out what the 1% is? Well, I'll tell you, this day here is sad for me. After a wonderful day with Honu 2 days ago, I just heard today that the feds and the cops raided all in Colorado. They raided all the dispensaries, legal things that people voted in and set up, and they raided them all. Wow. So this is not going to be your normal Christmas. And a lot of that might be due to this. We've had all these guys making all these deals, you know, and they've been forgetting about Uranus. And that's who the 99% is. And we're communicating now. That's why I get kind of a bang out of this, you know, that this fell out of an old book, and it's 20 years old, and this is how I was represented and communicated in the mass media. If you want to talk to a lot of people at once, this was the topper on a page of newspaper. And so I like this. And 20 years ago, I was proud of this. And now, well, there's Honu. Yeah, on the website, all over the world. Wow! And we owe this to the planet Uranus, which rules science and the mind and higher thought and stuff like astrology and the mass media and electric things that go around and the internet. So I used to tell folks used to tell me, when's the age of Aquarius happening? And I would say, the age of Aquarius will happen when everybody in the world is tied together and has a radio or TV. Well, it turned out they all got that. But now, the real thing is, you got an app for $5 and get a chart in the palm of your hand. And everybody can tune into the internet all over the world. And, they all have Twitter and Facebook and a whole lot of stuff that I'm trying to ignore. And they're tied together. So, how much further could you go than a Dick Tracy watch with a little screen and it's in your phone, in your pocket. I think the age of Aquarius is clearly here. And the internet is the final thing. It started with the railroads and steam engines and telegraphs. And what am I going on about anyway? Okay, let's check out the pattern in the sky, okay? The sun's in Sagittarius, 15 to 25 degrees. Venus is trining Mars. Pretty neat. The moon, if you're watching the Thursday show, is still in Capricorn. You're sitting here. Well, actually, Thursday after dinner, it changes into Aquarius. So maybe my revolutionary fervor is well grounded here. And Thursday night, there's a nice conjunction to Venus, trine to Mars. It's very sexy, very loving, very peaceful. Friday, on December 6th, there is an Aquarian moon still and a sextile to Uranus in the middle of the day. So here you'll get some zap. Here we're gonna call some people. This is the people speaking out. Yes. And they're going to get something done because here is a sextile to the sun that night. It's like Friday during the day, everybody's tuning in, and then they make more solid plans Friday night. Try it. You'll like it. Now, Saturday morning early, this is 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Hawaiian time, here's Saturn. And here's the old, well, what about the laws? What about the laws? What about the money and the time and the barriers and the fences and the old stuff? Well, you sleep through it, I hope. Saturday, the moon stays in Aquarius until you get past dinner, and then it shifts into Pisces. Here you are, Pisces. The blue stuff. And then it's going to go by Neptune here, Sunday on the morning. This is if there was ever a good time to go to church, it's when the moon hits Neptune. Music, Jesus, the compassion of your heart. This is the higher heart, Neptune. And I go on about them because there's a lot of people ripping us off here, doctor, priest, artists, musicians, and getting by with it. Of course, there's a lot of people ripping off Uranus, too. They're terrible scientists doing deathly work for the military, DOD, and damn, I watched a show the other day about lasers. Military lasers, they didn't stop. They're all over the joint. Anyway, you'll get some peace here Sunday morning. If you don't go to church, go out there and sit outside someplace where there's a butterfly and a bird. Now, Neptune is squaring Mercury. Mercury's at 2 degrees of Sagittarius to Pisces is a square. So this isn't like you're going to be able to sit down and meditate quietly. The very moment when the butterfly or the bird is showing you color, there'll be squawking noises from the kid up the street or some irritating buzz. So it could be noisy in church. And Sunday afternoon, there's a nice sextile to Pluto. Pluto will make things decisive. good word for Pluto is control. So after having no control, and you can't shut your mouth, and your words and a lot of things are moving all around haphazardly on the Neptune-Mercury square, as Pluto clicks in the afternoon and evening of Sunday, December 8th, self-control will come up. With Pluto, you either have control, all control, or no control. So you'll get control again of things. Hope you didn't spill too much Sunday morning. December 9th, Monday, starts with a nice trine to Saturn and a trine to Jupiter, and it looks, oh, those politicians all got it together, don't they? Oh, wait, there's a square to the sun. They're not doing anything. You know, no, something's going on here. Some kind of dysfunction. Oh, well, forget it. By the time you get to Monday night, there's a sextile to Venus. Relaxation. There's some sugar there. And get to bed a little bit early. Tuesday, the moon shifts into Aries on the 10th. And here's an opposition to Mars. And that means that Romeo's not happy and people are a little angry. And here's your first test, because it's moved into Aries where Uranus is. Quick tempers suddenly coming up. Ask yourself what you're protecting. It's very important. Mars does physical things to fix stuff. He's got a hammer and a saw. He'll fix your car. He'll put you in a stretcher and take you to the ambulance. He'll put out your fire. But if he gets out his sword and turns into the god of war, look out. Then you're angry and impatient. Ask yourself what you're protecting. Your internal Mars in the sky and Mars inside of us, loses it, and forgets what he's protecting. And, there's accident, injuries, and death and blood. So this is your first test. It's going to happen, it's going to happen almost weekly as you go into December, culminating on Christmas, I think. At any rate, you're in the weird zone. Tuesday night, heck, this is like probably 6 o'clock or so. Here's the moon going by Uranus. Now it squares Pluto. The cops don't like what Aquarian folks are doing, and they're in the way. The police, this is their rice bowl. What? Stop busting hippies for pot? We can't do that. What do we do? Now, tough luck, boys. It's going to happen anyway. This is a temporary problem. But if you act up a little bit, they're going to come after you here on Tuesday. Might be able to talk yourself out of it Wednesday morning. There's a nice trine to Mercury, and there is some communication going on there on Wednesday, December 11th. There's also a sextile to the sun. You can start getting stuff done here. Not bad. If you don't overdo it, the square to Jupiter. There's no rest Thursday morning. Venus is in square. There's inspiration Thursday afternoon, but you feel like we all need help Thursday night. Moon goes by the south node. Mother, help me. Friday, the 13th, the dreaded day, starts with a nice trine to Pluto about 4 or 5 in the morning. Self-control, investigation, decisiveness. And as you go further into the night, 11, 12 o'clock at night here, it's an opposition to Saturn. What's that, a roadblock? What's that, authority? Ooh. Saturday the 14th, the moon's still in Taurus as you go into the day. It changes after dinner and goes into Gemini. But at the end of Taurus, here's a nice trine to Venus. Opposition to Neptune, don't drink. Venus is happy. There could be love and sex and beauty and a lot of stuff here. Mars is happy with it all. Could go long. The partying is going to go long into the night, and right into Sunday morning. Now this Sunday on the 15th, here's the sextile to Uranus. Here's secular thought coming out on the church day of the 15th. And it's strong now. We had a good new moon. So I hope you all realize what brotherhood really means. You ever hear Lennon's song, Imagine? Once I get off this YouTube crap, I'm going to start playing you some music again. Times will get better. Anyway, that's what it's like in this terrible year of our Lord, 2013. Okay, I had a couple of minutes left here, and this is my rant time. I found this in the newspaper. Mall rampager gets 5 years. Now, Kauai is not a good place for police and justice. Sorry, Kauai. Patricia Lewis is a 32-year-old Lihue woman who took a baseball bat to an ATM and shop windows at Kukui Grove Center. Has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. That's a long time. 32-year-old woman, huh? She was sentenced Wednesday in order to pay more than $4,500 in restitution. Yeah, fix the windows in the ATM. She pleaded no contest to criminal property damage. December 19th she did this, a year ago. Investigators said she used an aluminum baseball bat to smash ATM and a glass door and window, and a glass door and a window. She apologized, but Judge Kathleen Watanabe, a little old-fashioned Japanese justice, sorry, Kauai, it's like that, said to court, I spent 5 days in that Kauai jail. Wasn't one Oriental there. It's all haoles and Hawaiians. Watanabe says the court can't ignore prior convictions in determining whether she could re-offend. What did Patricia offend? She probably got ripped off by the banks. She broke a couple windows and hit the ATM, and she's going to spend 5 years in jail. American justice. Finally, check this out. I warned you about this newspaper. Poakaloa, huh? This right-wing rag forced Oahu Landing out of business in a nasty way. They're called Stevens Media. They own both the newspapers on the Big Island. I've been very involved with this. Two of the nastiest organizations in our world just got together. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission just issued a permit to the DOD, to the Army, to use nuclear material at Poakaloa, something they said they would never do. It's really the lead, folks. It's not DU, it's the lead. Lead is plutonium to any kid under adolescence. Uranium half-life, 2-3 billion years. Lead is the same way. Worst polluters in the world, the DOD.